Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel, Fife's premier wedding venue.
So welcome back to Flyers TV, and today I've got Justin Ducharme with me. So Justin, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
No problems. So we're just going to really start right at the beginning and take you back to a kid, or being a kid. And so you are from Quebec, and you grew up in Mirabel, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So how would you describe that part of the world to people?
Cold and no, I'm kidding. It's just north of Montreal. It's a small city, about 60,000 people, and it's just a quiet city that's growing pretty much. A lot of new condos and shops and all that, so it's a growing city.
Yep. And in terms of your family, you are from a hockey family, yes or no? Or?
Yeah, my dad used to play. He played juniors, he played college level in Canada, and then my older brother played as well, and then I'm the second oldest, so I played. And then I have three more brothers that all played hockey, so or are still playing actually, so yeah, hockey family.
And so you were on skates from a very early age, as any typical Canadian is that the case?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Around 3 or 4 years old I was skating, and then 5 years old you start playing hockey in the MAG program, they call it.
Yep. At that very early age, what was hockey to you? Was it just simply out with your friends, your buddies, or was there something at the back of your head that said, yeah, I've got the NHL, Canadian, North American hockey dream?
I wouldn't say that young. At first it was just fun. I was good at it. I loved it. So I was just having fun doing it. And then as I grew older, I realized that maybe I am good at it and I have a chance to do something about it.
Yep.
But at first it was just fun, like you said. It's just playing out with your friends and just enjoying it. I was fortunate enough to live about 45 seconds away from a park where they had tennis courts, soccer fields, and outdoor rinks in the winter, and they would leave the boards up for the summer to roll hockey. Okay. So anytime I had free time, I would just go there and enjoy myself. I
think you mentioned that soccer, or football as we would call it over here, was another sport for you. Was that your summertime sport, essentially?
Yeah, when I was younger, from 5 years old to 9, I think. So 3 or 4 summers, I played soccer or football. Yeah. As soon as I hit the 10-year-old mark, I'd say now I started to play hockey in the summer as well, and that's when my dad kind of told me, like, do you want to play hockey or do you want to play soccer? You got to kind of choose.
Yep.
And that's when it was a no-brainer for me. So I just decided to go with hockey.
Yeah, interesting you said your dad there, because obviously a lot of parents try and get their kids to diversify from sports, and it's just not hockey.
Yeah,
but as you say, there comes a point, I guess, where you think, I've got to stick at one.
Yeah, they just gave me the choice because the schedules weren't working together. So I just had to choose, and they just gave me the choice, and like I said, it was an easy decision for me.
Yeah. So you get to round about 13, 14, I guess, and you're playing AAA Midget. Is that correct?
15, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get into a AAA Midget team?
Well, after your Bantam years, you play 2 years Bantam, 13 and 14, and then you try out for the Midget AAA team. And then if you make it, you have to change school, you have to change program and all that, because it's like the whole Quebec is separated in different regions.
Yep.
And then you have to go to a certain school and a certain program and all that.
Yep.
So if you make that team at 15 years old, which I made, that's when I changed school and went to St. Eustache Vikings.
So were you still living at home when you were playing?
Yeah, I was.
Yep.
It was maybe a 30-minute drive, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Except we have a lot of traffic where I'm from, so my mom made a lot of sacrifice to get us to the rink, get us from the rink every day, and
Hockey mums, never underrated, are they?
No.
You mentioned St. Eustache?
St. Eustache, yeah.
See, I'm glad you're here for all that. I'm just going to murder any of these French
all right.
names. But on that team, there was a certain.
Yeah.
In your second year, I think it was.
Yeah.
He came in as a year below you.
Yeah.
There was a certain guy called Alexei Lafreniere.
Yeah, exactly. Plays for New York Rangers right now.
He was okay, wasn't he?
He was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. First overall.
He was
pick.
actually very okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was amazing. It was just such talent that we've all never seen it before. It was just so spectacular, even at that young age, and that's when we kind of realized that guy's going to go far.
Yeah.
And no, so I was 16 at that time. He came in as a 15-year-old, and no, he was our best player.
So what was your role? Pass him the puck? No.
No, we had the kid line. There were 3 young guys on the first line, and I was on the second line with 3 16-year-olds.
Okay.
So our role was just pretty much all the teams were trying to match up our first line, so we had maybe more time to try to do something offensively, and that was my role.
So I'm guessing though you can probably still get in touch with them, and you're good for tickets for Madison Square anytime.
I've never been yet, but yeah, we still talk sometimes.
Yeah, that's cool. You then make the move into Major Junior.
Yeah.
So how does that transition happen? So you want to continue your hockey career.
Yeah.
What are the options that you have or had at that time coming out of AAA?
Well, you have the QMJHL draft when you play your 15-year-old year. Yep. And then at 16, you try to make the team where you're drafted. I was drafted for the Ramparts, Quebec Ramparts. I didn't make the team, and I got traded in November. So in August, I went to training camp, didn't make the team, went back to my Midget AAA team, and then in November, I got traded because in season, you can only trade guys that are not in the league or 20-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
So I got traded one for one against a 20-year-old.
Yep.
And so I was traded to Acadie Bathurst, the Titans. So the next year, when I was 17, I went to training camp there, made the team, and then we ended up winning the Memorial Cup that year.
You mentioned being initially drafted by Quebec, still relatively close to home.
Yeah, 3-hour drive, not too far.
Not so much Acadia though.
No, that was a bit further.
That's a bit further. So this would be your first situation staying away from home.
Yeah.
And so you'd have a billet family.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your billet family.
They were awesome. Actually, they were. As of now, I still talk to them. When they go to Montreal or whatever, we try to stay in touch, go for dinner or something like that. And they were amazing family, and they had a young daughter and a young son. So and he was playing hockey at that time, so he was kind of liking having a player in his home. So no, it was awesome.
Yeah, you mentioned then success, the Memorial Cup. It's a big thing at that age.
It was just kind of crazy. The whole year was just when I got traded to there, I was kind of disappointed, to be honest, because I was from Quebec, which is one of the biggest market in the league, to one of the smallest in the league, and they haven't been winning a whole lot before that year. So I was kind of disappointed, but then at the same time, I knew I was going to have a better chance to play there and have a bigger role, which happened the next year. And from there, it was just surprisingly good, if I can say. Yeah. It was just so special and they were on a mission. Like, in the QMJHL, it's like a 4 to 5 year process. Every team has their own process, and they're trying to bring in guys to end up with those guys, those young guys you draft at 16. When they end up at 19, that's when you want to go for the cup, and that's what they did. And their plan worked, and we ended up winning the President Cup and the Memorial Cup that year. So it was pretty cool. Yep. We got traded when we won, which is part of having success, I guess. When you try to bring in guys, you have to get rid of choices and all that, so you got to rebuild after. And I got sent away to Chicoutimi, and for 2 years I played there, and So my second year I was there at 19 years old. It was their time to go try to win, and then COVID happened. Yeah, it was just so frustrating because we packed the whole team, did trades to, like I say, pack the team and try to give us a chance to win, and then COVID happened in February, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's the end of the 2019-20 season that you were,
Exactly, and told us to go home for 2 weeks, but then it ended up just being stopped completely. So we just lost our chance to try to win.
Yeah, so you've gone from the highs of obviously having won, the Memorial Cup and won it all basically at junior level, to then having another chance, and then it just kind of gets, the rug is pulled from beneath your feet, as they say.
Yeah, exactly.
So the 2021 season, could you have picked a slightly less remote place to escape the pandemic than Val d'Or?
I think it was perfect, to be honest, because in Quebec they worked with like a red, yellow, and green system for COVID. And basically, if you were in a red zone, all the restaurants, all the bars, everything was closed basically. And Val d'Or was one of the fewest regions that was still green. And so for that, we were kind of lucky to have a normal life, if we can say. And it was really fun, to be honest. And we ended up going to the finals that year as well. Yep. So I was pretty fortunate in my junior career. I basically won. Another season, we were going to try to win, and then my last season we went to the finals. So So when I got out of juniors, my objective was to go straight up pro.
Yep.
If that didn't work out, I had a few offers to go college in Montreal, Moncton, pretty much anywhere.
Yep.
But yeah, as I said, my goal was to go pro, which happened. I had an offer from Laval Rocket, a two-way. I took it, so I started there. Played kind of half and half between the East Coast and the AHL that year. A few call-ups and all that. Played about 19 or 20 games in the AHL that year, which was really fun. It was the most fun time I had in hockey, I think.
And what is that transition like then? Because, junior, and you've done well in junior, as you said, you've been close and on good teams, etc. But the step up then into the professional world, and particularly going into the AHL, where you've got guys who have been through the draft and, pros that have been there for quite a while. Yeah. You're still relatively young in that sense. So how did you cope with that?
Yeah, it was special. It's just try to take as much experience as you can get from these guys. They've been through a lot of seasons before you. They've been through a lot of different experiences in playing pro. So you're just trying to soak it all in and try to learn from these guys. And at the same time, you can't be in awe of what's happening. You gotta act like you belong, and you gotta prove that you belong, actually. So it's kind of a weird atmosphere for the first few games, but then you get used to it, and it's just the same game you've been playing your whole life. Yeah. And then once you realize that, well, you're good.
Yeah. And so I guess at this point, I should probably come back to one of the questions that I asked at the beginning, which was, growing up as a kid, did you have NHL aspirations? And by this time, had you had any opportunities, for NHL training camps or?
After that 17-year-old year, I got a invite with the Anaheim Ducks, so I went to that training camp. And then the year after, I went to the Vegas Golden Knights camp. So that's when I also realized that I had a chance to, do something about it. Yeah.
And so you mentioned the AHL, with the Laval, as well as ECHL, which was with Trois-Rivières. Success was kind of following you still, wasn't it? Because did they make the Kelly Cup final that year?
No, we did not make the. You mean Trois-Rivières? Yeah. No, that year we just made the playoffs on the last game of the season, I think. Right. Which was pretty cool, though. It was the first pro playoffs experience. And then I went to the next year with Texas.
Yes.
On the two-way.
You did something that Geordie Munro was told not to do.
Yeah.
And you went to Idaho.
Yeah, I went.
I had to throw that in there. Terrible. But yeah, Idaho and Texas Stars was the AHL?
Yeah, exactly. So I went there on a two-way, same as the year before with Laval. And I ended up making the opening roster as a 13th forward. And basically you're just, kind of a bad thing to say, but you're just waiting on an injury or something like this to have your chance. And then nothing happened, no injury, no call up in the NHL, no nothing. So I didn't have my chance I just played 3 games in the whole first half season I was there. So then in January, I kind of had to make a decision to, either stay there and keep waiting or go down in the East Coast and play some hockey, which I made. So then I went to Idaho and we had an amazing second half.
This is where the Kelly Cup comes in.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, exactly.
I was a season ahead.
Yeah. So no, we had a record-breaking season there. Most wins, most win streak, I don't even know. We broke a lot of records, and then went to the finals in the playoffs and got swept in 4.
By Florida,
Yeah, by Florida.
Yeah. The coast. Let's talk about the coast. What was your impressions in those first couple of years of the coast and its challenges? Let's say.
Yeah, a lot of challenges. It's a tough schedule, a lot of traveling, not so much rest. We play a lot of 3-on-3s and in 3 different cities, and 7 o'clock, 3 o'clock on Sunday. So it's a lot of travel. It's tough on the body, but we're treated as pros. And now that I've played a couple other cities or a couple other leagues, I can say that we're fortunate to have that league in North America. I think we're pretty close to being treated as the AHL is in the NHL.
Yep. And so you then decided you've had enough of the warmer weather out in Texas and Idaho, and you want to come back to the colder weather again, so you come back to Trois-Rivières again.
Yeah, I just didn't have much options after that year. I thought I would maybe get a call from Texas again, but nothing happened there. So then I just realized that I'll just go back home, play for Trois-Rivières, and hope to get a call up somewhere. So yeah, I played a full season there.
Yeah, and you then made a choice, which was a more significant choice, because your next stop was Europe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So again, the thinking behind that was...
Yeah, at that point, it was just about, you play in the East Coast to get a call up in the AHL. It's not the league that pays the most also, so there's this, you just balance all the pros and cons of staying in that league for another year, and I just realized maybe it's time to go overseas and try something else and try to get up the ladder in Europe. So that's when I chose to go to Slovakia.
So you had a little bit of time in Slovakia and a little bit of time in Czechia, and
went to Slovakia and Nové Zámky. We didn't have the best team, and they're pretty quick on changing the imports there if the success is not there, which they did. They fired all of us and got 7 new imports, 2 new coaches. It was just
And did that improve them?
No, not really.
There you go.
They got relegated that year. So then I moved on and got a tryout in Czechia, in Zlín. And then after my tryout, they offered me another tryout instead of either keeping me or cutting me. And we had a few injuries at that time, so I kind of realized that they were trying to keep me for another month until these guys come back, and then I would be probably out. And then that would have put me in mid-January. So then mid-January you have no team, kind of in a bad spot. So when they offered me the second tryout, I just decided to go back home again, go back to Trois-Rivières. And it was a good decision because we ended up winning the Kelly Cup that year.
You did?
Yeah.
Yep. So yet another championship.
Yeah.
You've been there or thereabouts.
Yeah, no, I was pretty fortunate throughout my whole career to always kind of end up in good teams and teams that aspire to the big title.
Yeah. What did you think made that Trois-Rivières team a championship team?
It all started from our goalie, to be honest. We had the best goalie in the league, hands down. And from there, we had a solid defensive core. We had a lot of pure talent in the offense that could score goals, a lot of goals. So then when your defensive squad just shuts down the other team and then you score goals, I mean, it's a pretty good recipe to win games.
Someone I noticed on that team was Charles-Antoine Paymont, who was obviously with the Flyers last year, and I guess when you got to the summer, again, you were looking at your options, the Flyers was an option. Did you happen to speak to him about life?
I did ask him, of course. When you have offers from teams, you just want to get a better picture of it. He told me it was a nice city by the water, good group of fans, always there to support the teams. And as I talked to the coach, he also told me it was a brand new management, a brand new coaching staff. The whole team, all the players were new. So the whole point of this year was trying to turn the ship around, and I just bought into it.
We're not going to really talk a lot about this season, but it would be amiss not to talk about this season because obviously your season really hasn't got going yet. A couple of games and then your unfortunate injury. So how is that time, because we're now fast approaching 3 months. So how has that been for you?
Long. It's been long. It's been just frustrating to just not be able to help the team, you know. I'm glad we got those 2 wins last weekend. It was awesome to see this. I just wish I could have been part of this. But no, I'm just happy for the guys, and you know, I'm just trying to work as hard as I can in the gym and on the ice to get back as quick as possible.
Is this the kind of most serious in terms of at least time out of the game injury you've had much so far?
When I was 17, I had another knee injury that kept me out for 2 months, but now we're almost 3 months.
And I think I know the answer because no player makes a good spectator, do they? You just don't like watching games.
No, it's just when you can't be out there, and it's just so different. You don't feel quite in the team as much as when you play. You're not there on the ice to battle with these guys, so obviously they have their own discussions about the game, and you can only listen. So it's just, I can't wait to be back.
No, I think speak for all the fans. We'll be really delighted to see you back on the ice. Might have to do a re-signing promotion for you.
New player.
Reintroduce you to the team.
New player.
So best of luck for the next couple of weeks and for the rest of the season. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.